Hello everyone, welcome in your social science class. Today we are going to discuss a very important chapter in history, nationalism in India of standard 10th. As in the previous video we have discussed already that modern nationalism in Europe came to be associated with the formation of nation state. It means that a change in people's understanding of whom they were, what they are, what is their identity, and the sense of belongingness. In India and many other African and Asian countries that time earlier they were under British rule. Okay, many of other colonies, the growth of modern nationalism is ultimately connected to the anti-colony movement. In earlier textbooks, you have read about the growth of nationalism in India up to the first decade of the 20th century. Okay, in this chapter, we will pick up the story from 1920 and study the non-cooperation and civil disobedience movement. We will explore how the Congress sought to develop the national movement and how different social groups participated in the movement and how nationalism captured the imagination of people. We have discussed already the definition, the meaning of nationalism, and how the anti-colonialism feeling spread among the people and how nationalism arise in the people. Okay, we have already discussed the growth of national movement in India. Today we will discuss about the First World War, Khilafat movement and non-cooperation movement. We will discuss how the First World War is responsible and how it created a new economic and political situation. First World War, the time period of the First World War 1914 to 1919. It led to a huge increase in defense expenditure, which was financially by the war loan, financed by war loan, and increasing tax duty, custom duty, and income tax introduced. Many income tax to fulfill the expenditure on army, and to fulfill these all requirement, British introduced new taxes on Indian. Okay, this made all the Indian people angry, and almost the tax duty or tax was raised almost double 1913 and 1918. ओके वार में जो लॉस हुआ इंडिपेंडेंस जो फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वार हुआ था 1914 से लेकर 1919 तक कर ओके देयर वाज अ ह्यूज इकोनॉमिक लॉस एंड ब्रिटिश वांटेड टू फुलफिल देयर मिलिट्री एक्सपेंडिचर एंड पॉलिटिकल एक्सपेंडिचर फॉर द मेंटेनेंस ऑफ आर्मी दे नीड मोर मनी सो दे इम्पोज्ड मेनी टैक्सेस ऑन इंडियन द टैक्सेस ऑलमोस्ट became double from earlier, so this increased the hardship of the common people. Second, how First World War was responsible to arise the nationalism, to arise the feeling of belongingness among people. Villagers were called upon to supply the soldier, and they were forced to join the army. They were forcefully recruited in the army. Okay, that's why there was widespread hunger, because no people left in villages to cultivate the land, to raise the crops. So all over India, 1918 to 1920 to 21, crops failed in many parts of India, that resulting shortage of food. This also made the people join together, and this also helped to arise the feeling of nationalism among Indian. This accompanied by a pandemic. According to the census of 2021, 12 to 13 million people result of famine and epidemic. People hoped that their hardship would end after the First World War, but this all disappear. Actual जो ब्रिटिश लोग थे उनको हमारे इंडियन से कोई सिंपैथी नहीं थी, और उन्होंने हमारी हार्डशिप्स को दूर करने के लिए कोई भी एफर्ट्स नहीं किए. ओके, एंड आफ्टर दैट वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द आइडिया ऑफ सत्याग्रह. Mahatma Gandhi returned to India from South Africa in 1950. He led and gave a new momentum to the Indian freedom struggle. He motivated the people to follow the path of Satyagraha. Satya mean truth, Agraha mean request. Request, okay. Gandhi ji wanted that the people should follow the path of Satyagraha. The idea of Satyagraha emphasized the power of truth and need to search the truth. It suggested that if the cause was true, if the struggle was against injustice, then physical force was not necessary to fight the oppressor. No doubt British people were tortured, we were tortured by the British people, okay. But Gandhi ji requested the people that we should use the way of Satya, okay. If our aim is true, then there is no need to use the physical force against the oppressor, okay. Without seeking violence, without being aggressive, a Satyagraha could win. Through the Satyagraha could win our target without non-violence. This could be done by appealing, okay, to the oppressor. Just we have to appeal the oppressor. There is no need to use the physical force, okay. To see the truth instead of being forced to accept the truth through the use of violence. By this struggle, the truth was bound to ultimately triumph. Okay, if your way is truth, you are fighting against injustice. Then there is just need to appeal. Okay, there is no need to use the physical force. And ultimately, we will able to win. We will able to achieve our target. Mahatma Gandhi ji believed that dharma of non-violence could be in all Indian. After arriving in India, Mahatma Gandhi successfully organized Satyagraha movement in various places. 1916 for the people of Bihar in Champaran. He fought against British to favor the people, the poor peasant of Bihar in Champaran. In 1917, he organized Satyagraha movement to support the peasant of Kheda district. Okay, Kheda district, they were not able to pay the revenue due to the failure of crops, and Mahatma Gandhi also fought 1918 for the relaxation of tax. Mahatma Gandhi went to Ahmedabad to organize a Satyagraha movement against cotton mill workers also. So we see how Gandhi ji called for Satyagraha, how Gandhi ji motivate the people not to follow the path of aggressiveness. Okay, there is no need to use physical force to win our target, to get our goal. So, the idea of Satyagraha in South Africa, Gandhi ji successfully fought against the racial discrimination with a novel method of mass agitation, which is called Satyagraha. Okay, Gandhi ji also successfully fought against the oppressor, because in South Africa, British torture the South African people on the basis of their skin color. Racial discrimination was there, and Gandhi ji fought against the oppressor, and the way he followed, that was Satyagraha. Okay, Satyagraha was based on the twin principle. Two principles are there: truth and non-violence. It emphasizes that if the cause was true, if the struggle was against the injustice, then physical force was not necessary to fight the oppressor. A Satyagrahi could win the battle through non-violence just by persuading the oppressor to see the truth. Mahatma Gandhi believed that dharma of non-violence should be, or it must be, in all Indian. Mahatma Gandhi started Satyagraha movement against oppressive indigo plantation system in 1917 in Champaran, in Kheda district in Gujarat 1918, and Ahmedabad, Gujarat in 1918 also to the protection of mill worker, cotton mill worker. Now we will discuss about the Rolex Act 1919. This was the act passed by the British government. The act was passed by the British government by the Imperial Legislative Council. Despite of the united opposition, it was opposed, it was not liked by the, it was not accepted by the Indian people. According to this law, empowered the government to repress the political activity and detention of political prisoner without trial of 2 years. According to this act, British government can arrest any people on the basis of their suspicion, and the people who is imprisoned was not allowed to appeal, dalil and vakil. Okay, and the prisoner without trial kept in jail for 2 years. It was opposed by Indian. It was not a good act, so it was opposed by Indian. Mahatma Gandhi decided to launch nationwide Satyagraha against such injustice law. Rolex Act Satyagraha 1919 started with a hartal on 6th April. On 10th April, police in Amritsar fired upon a peaceful procession. After this provoked widespread attack on the bank, post offices and railway stations. Rallies organized in various cities, various places. Local leaders were picked up from Amritsar. Martial law imposed. General Dyer took the command. In Punjab, martial law was imposed by General Dyer. Okay, he took the command. Workers went on strike in railway shops, and shops were closed down. British administration clamped down the nationalists. On 13 April 1919, Jallianwala Bagh massacre took place. About the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, everybody know about this. When in Punjab, two important leaders of Punjab, Satyapal Kichlu were arrested. The two leaders, important leaders, and many other leaders were arrested according to or under the Act of Rolex Act. Okay, people gathered there on 13 April, auspicious day of Baisakhi, in Jallianwala Bagh. Okay, General Dyer, that was the commander of police, he ordered to shoot down the people. Okay, the entry gate was closed by General Dyer, and armed by the popular, rallies were organized in various cities, you know very well. Workshop went on strikes, and people also gathered in Jallianwala Bagh to protest against this such act, against Rolex Act, because this act was not liked by Indian people. Okay, when General Dyer come to know about the peaceful procession in Jallianwala Bagh, he command on 13 April, famous place Jallianwala Bagh incident took place. That day, a large crowd gathered in enclosed ground on Jallianwala Bagh. Some came to protest against the government new repression measures, especially Jallianwala Bagh. Others have come to the annual function Baisakhi fair. Okay, some people gathered to celebrate the festival of Baisakhi, and some gathered there to protest against Rolex Act. Being from outside the city, many villagers were unaware of the martial law and has been imposed. Nobody know, many other people that belong to village, they don't know about the martial law. Curfew system is there, army that spread inside the city, but people did not aware about such type of martial law. Dyer entered the area. General Dyer blocked the exit. क्या किया उसने? Blocked the exit point and opened fire on the crowd, killing hundreds of the people. His object, as declared later, it was not good act that was done by General Dyer. was to be produce a moral effect to create in the mind of satyagrahis and feeling of terror. The people became angry, okay, when they come to know about this merciless act done by General Dyer. As the news Jallianwala Bagh spread, crowd took to the street and many North Indian towns. There were strikes, clashes with the police, and attack on the government building. The government responded with the brutal repression, seeking to humiliate, and they attacked the people, they tortured the people. Satyagrahi were forced to rub their nose on the ground. Okay, very harsh method was used by the British East India government. Okay, many people, many leaders were arrested, and they were forced to rub their nose on the ground, crawl on the streets, okay, and to salute to the Sahib. Forcefully, they were forced to do such type of activity, rub the nose their ground, salute or salam to the Sahibs, means British government officers, crawl रेंगना, ठीक है, रेंग रेंग के गलियों में जाओ, नोज को रब करो, नाक रगड़ो, सलाम करो. People were and people in that Punjab, they were bombed, and many violence activity happened after the incident of Jallianwala Bagh. Mahatma Gandhi called off the movement because non-violence spread everywhere, and Mahatma Gandhi didn't want to follow the path of Mahatma Gandhi want that Satyagrahi must follow the path of non-violence. But as the movement lost its spirit, non-violence, people now became agitated and violence spread everywhere, so Mahatma Gandhi called off the movement. While the Rolex Act Satyagraha had been a widespread movement, it is still limited mostly to the cities because martial law was imposed. Okay, so many people unaware about this incident. Mahatma Gandhi now felt the need to launch a more broad-based movement in the India. But he was certain that no such movement could be organized without bringing the Hindu and Muslim close together. Mahatma Gandhi wanted that there should be such type of movement should be organized where both Hindu and Muslim close together. One way of doing, he felt that to take up the Khilafat issue. The First World War ended with the defeat of Ottoman Turkey. You have discussed about the Ottoman Empire in previous classes. Ottoman Empire, Turkey. Earlier, the British government behaving very bad with the Turkey emperor. Okay, after they hoped that there will be good behavior by the British government with the Turkey emperor. But there was a rumor that a harsh peace treaty was going to be imposed on Ottoman Empire. When Ottoman Empire at the side of Germany का एक part था. जर्मनी भी उसी के अंदर ही आता था. एक्सिस पार जो थी उसमें ऑटोमन एम्पायर भी था, जैसे जर्मनी, जापान और इटली, ये एक्सिस पार थी. इन्होंने रिवॉल्ट में इसमें वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट जो हुआ, सेकंड हुआ एक्सिस पार, वन साइड एक्सिस पार एंड अनदर साइड एलाइड पार. इन एलाइड पार Russia, France and Britain. After that USA entered in the allied power. In Axis power, Germany, Italy and Japan. Ottoman Empire was the part of that. Okay. And launch a more broad vast movement in India. There was a defeat of Ottoman Empire, and there were a rumor that Ottoman Empire in Germany, they were forced to accept the harsh treaty. Okay, and it was against, the treaty was against Islamic world. Okay, against means in Islamic khilaf word is used. Okay, against khilaf word is used. So defend the Khalifa means that धार्मिक गुरु जो उनका एम्परर था, तुर्की एम्पायर जो था वो एक इस्लामिक एम्पायर था, और उनका जो गुरु थे खलीफा, उनके साथ अच्छा बिहेवियर ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा नहीं किया जाता था. ओके, ऐसा माना जाता है कि जब वर्ल्ड वार एंड हुआ, ऑटोमन एम्पायर हार गया था क्योंकि वो भी एक्सिस पार की साइड में था, और ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट ने उनके साथ और बैड बिहेवियर करना शुरू कर दिया था. ठीक है, क्योंकि वो इंग्लैंड जो था वो एक साइड था, ब्रिटेन और उसकी एंटी जो था वो ऑटोमन एम्पायर फाइट कर रहा था। खिलाफत कमिटी वॉज formed in Bombay on March 1919. Okay, young generation of Muslim leaders like brother Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali began this movement. Okay, discussing with Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, along with Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, started Khilafat movement, unite the mass action on the issue. ये खलीफा के इशू को उठाया कि खलीफा जो थे उनके साथ बैड बिहेवियर नहीं होना चाहिए। इस इशू को उठाया ऑटोमन एम्पायर को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए, टर्की के एम्पायर को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए। मोहम्मद अली और शौकत अली ने इस चीज़ के लिए यानी सत्याग्रह को स्टार्ट करने के लिए महात्मा गांधी जी के साथ डिस्कस किया और उन्होंने महात्मा गांधी ने इस इशू को टैकल करने के लिए, इस इशू को उठाने के लिए मुस्लिम और हिंदू लोगों ने मिलकर क्या किया, एक रिवॉल्ट स्टार्ट किया, एक मूवमेंट स्टार्ट किया, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड नेशनल मूवमेंट। गांधी जी सॉ दिस एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू ब्रिंग द मुस्लिम। गांधी जी ने देखा कि तुर्की के खलीफा को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए ये एक ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी है जिसमें हिंदू और मुस्लिम दोनों यूनाइट हो सकते हैं और नेशनल मूवमेंट स्प्रेड किया जा सकता है। At Kolkata session Congress in September 1920, that's why कोलकाता में सेशन कॉल्ड किया गया अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ गांधी जी 1920, and he convinced the other leader to need for the need to start a non-cooperation movement. Gandhi ji said that British rule in India because we are cooperating them. If we will not cooperate them, then they would leave. And British rule will be end. So Gandhi ji inspired the people to start a national movement. That movement was called non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation, there is no need to cooperate the British. If we will not cooperate the British, then British would leave our country. With the cooperation of Muslim people, to protect the Ottoman Empire, along with Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, Gandhi ji started a movement. That movement was non-cooperation movement, and that was nationwide movement. That's why it was called a nation movement, and it helped to bring the people together, unite the people together, both Hindu and Muslim. In this movement, Khilafat movement was started earlier by Muslim people, to protect their Khalifa, and Gandhi ji, with the help of Muslim, he started non-cooperation movement. In this movement, Hindu and Muslim both joined together and started a movement against British. So today we discuss about the path of or idea of Satyagraha, Rolex Act, how Rolex Act spread, and how it was not liked by, it was not in the favor of Indian, and we discuss about non-cooperation movement started by Gandhi ji to spread the nationalism in Indian. So student, you have read about these all three topics very nicely. Thank you. Have a nice day.